Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Thank you so much for joining me today. Before we get started, I want to encourage you to look to the bottom of the screen and hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so, and hit that notification bell so you can get updates on these awesome interviews I have coming now in the future with some amazing authors, some amazing business owners. The platform that I run on is hashtag support begin support, and it comes from a biblical principle. When you see in the Bible in Genesis, it talks about how the father begat the son. You cannot have a son without a father. You cannot expect people to support you without being supportive of others. So it's all about what goes around comes around. So if you're supporting others, don't worry about if they're supporting you or not. I promise you that support is going to come from some direction, because that is what you put out there in the universe. So that is what we do here. My name is Tammy Lilly, and welcome to Tammy M. Lilly's YouTube channel. I am a tax professional by trade. I own a company by the name of KRC Tax and Business Services, as well as I'm an author. So when I became an author, I thought, how can I support others in the midst of what I'm doing? Because I'm a big advocate of that. So why not do a bookstore? So I own a company by the name of KRC Bookstore, where I open up a platform for authors to be able to sell their books, to be able to get their contact information of their customers, as well as to get paid. You know, ultimately we want to get paid, but we also want to be able to build a rapport, to be the upsell, which in turn brings about dollars. So welcome so much. Welcome. Without any further ado, I want to go ahead and open the floor up to this amazing author. If I'm gonna ask her to introduce herself, because who better to introduce yourself than you? So go ahead and introduce us to you.
Hi, my name is Shana Gourdine. I am originally from Cross, South Carolina. I now reside in Troy, New York. I am the author of the book called The Mask Behind the Mask, and also the book called Unveil the Broken Pieces of the Mask. I'm also now a 5-time author because I have collabed in 3 other books. I'm a mother of 2 beautiful girls, Liana and Samira. I have a BA in sociology, and I also am a podcast host, a magazine writer, a blogger, and I also am a big advocate for domestic violence, and I also advocate for chronic illness.
That is amazing. You sounds like you wear so many hats, as most of us do. I so much relate to that because I wear so many hats, and I love them all. If I didn't have them, I don't know what I'll do. They're me, and they're part of what I am, and I love everything I do. So thank you so much for what you do. Let's go ahead and dove into this book. You're an author. What made you become?
Oh, it was so many reasons. I've been writing poetry since I've been 12. So the main reason why I decided to write the book was because, to just give my kids a different role, to know, regardless of what your dream is, you can always succeed to it. It's like, listen, life have a lot of challenges, but it doesn't mean that you have to stop your dreaming and your ambition for the things you wanted to do. So I wrote, my first book was to definitely give people poetry that can empower them, motivate them, and inspire them to be a better version of themselves, even though through the midst of the storm of the things they've been through.
Okay. Well, definitely. That is what KRIC Bookstore is about. We're all about inspiration, empowerment, as well as self-help books, which in turn empowers you and your situation and generational wealth and all those things just wrapped up in one. So definitely thank you so much for entrusting me with your book. A lot of times you hear authors calling their books their babies. My books are my babies. So, you don't want to just entrust it with any and everybody. Right. And I thank you so much for entrusting me. I definitely appreciate that by far. With the book, we're going to talk about broken pieces. When you wrote this book, what was your intentions for this particular book? What did you want the audience to feel?
With Unveil the Broken Pieces, I wanted them to feel that they can mend the broken hearts and take the pieces off and take the masses off and understand that, yeah, we've been through fear, we've been through hurt, we've been through depression, we've been through different things, but that don't let those pieces hold you back to be a better version of yourself or just to heal. Like a lot of times that be the main thing. We allow our past to stop us from going forward. So with this book, I wanted people to get to be able to do the work, because inside of it, I have it to where I give you poetry, but I give you questions. I give you time to think and write to yourself. I give you a journal inside of there. I give you quotes to use if you needed something to help you, empower you during the day. So it's just a book that gives you insight on how to heal yourself through the different steps of going to the other side after trauma or hurt or depression or wherever it may be that someone's dealing with.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Definitely that's beautiful. You know, sometimes we go through things in life and we get stuck. We get stagnated in that place of hurt. And then when you stay in that place too long, it makes you bitter and it makes you hurt others. You know, it's a saying that says hurt people hurt other people. So as long as you're hurting, you're going to go out there and hurt others. So stop the pain, stop the hurt, talk about it. Know that you're not the only one who goes through something like that or something similar. So that is definitely, I appreciate your transparency, because so often the devil wants us to be quiet when we
Right.
go through things. You know, keep it to yourself. Don't tell nobody. They're going to be judgmental about you. But you stepped up and you didn't care about anything as far as judgment is concerned. You thought about the benefits. You thought about the people that you're going to heal in the midst of, you know, writing this book. You know, you broke through the barriers and you here and you made it here, and you let
Right.
people know that you're still here and that they can survive. So definitely I appreciate that. Now, a lot of times we write books and we want people to feel certain ways. We want people to, you know, buy a book. We want to bless people and all that kind of stuff. So at the end of all that, how did that help you? How did it change you?
I had to take the steps in order to write the book. So I had to break down my masses in order to be able to teach people how to break them. So I had to take the steps of healing from learning to forgive to then understanding what I've been through and taking accountability for certain things that I allowed and learning to find what was making me happy. And that's where the self-love and the self-hope and the worth, understanding your worth of who you are. I inquired during this process and I've learned what my peaceful space is. And now that I know what it is and I know what makes me happy and I know how to love myself, I will never allow anyone to take that from me. And I don't depend on no one else to give it to me. So I learned a lot about myself through this process. And I just wanted people to learn a lot about themselves through their process of reading this book, to then learn what they like, how to self-love themselves, how to understand their self-worth, and how to find that peaceful space and be able to forgive people when they're not waiting on somebody else to forgive them. Just forgive them and move on, so you don't have to let your past define you. You can move on and heal and carry on and be happy. Because like you said, hurt people hurt people. And I didn't want to be that person that hurt somebody else because I was hurt. I've been hurt too many times. I didn't want to carry the same generational curse, because then I didn't want to pass it to my kids. I needed to break the cycle. So I had to show them how to break the cycle, and I had to do it myself.
All right, that's amazing. You know, it's the saying that when we little, our parents may tell us, you know, don't do as I do as I say. I say don't do this, but you took it and you leading by example.
Yeah.
You know, you showing them that it's okay, you know, and that you can survive. And I appreciate that. And I love the transparency. I absolutely love, I love what I do. You know, I love hearing the stories, and I'm so immensely blessed by hearing your story, reading your book. And I know there would be others who would do so that would be blessed as well. So, well, tell us how to get in touch with you now. Tell us how to get to your podcast, because you have a podcast and you have a blog. Now, don't worry, if you can't catch this, we're going to put this in the description. We're going to make sure we put all this information in the description.
Well, you can contact me if you want to get in contact with me as far as my podcast is. I have Walking in Your Victory, And I also have Victory of the Minds, where I do Testimonial Tuesdays. And then I also have the rundown. All those you can contact me for Shana Gourdine, or you can hit me at sgourdine16gmail.com. If you're trying to hit my podcast that I do on Rock Truth Nation, you can always hit me on Sheena .org, or you can always find us on Rock Truth Nation, where I do Rock Bottom, I do Rock Queens, and I do Rock Single. So there's a lot of different platforms, but to just in general find me, I also have a website, which is www.theladybehindthemask.com as well.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Wear that crown, baby. Say, I like that. Queens, wear that crown. Yes, ma'am. So, and before we jump off, I want to say congratulations again for the new little one that you're bringing into, you're birthing into this thing, into this world. And I know this baby is going to be so well loved because mama's getting so much better. She's getting better and better every day. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being in the bookstore. And if anybody out there wants to get that book in the bookstore, I'm looking for inspirational, empowerment, and self-help business books. Because in order to empower, in order to be empowered, in order to be inspired, a lot of times you have to, get that business. And a lot of business principles can be applied into life. So even if you don't have a desire of being a business, you definitely, check out our books. And if you have a book out there you would like to get in the KRC bookstore, definitely reach out to me. My website is www.krcbookstore.com, as well as we're on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, KRC Bookstore. We make sure that it make it easy for you to find so you don't have any more excuses. So thank you so much for joining us today, and you have an awesome and blessed day. And I look forward to seeing many, many more things from you. Thank you so much.